10 minutes. So we're going to start off where I left in part 1. And I just got to Spain, which is where we're at now. This was back in the days of Vicente del Bosque being the manager of the Spanish team. They had Iniesta there. They also had a few other players like Alvaro Negredo, Javi Martinez of Bayern Munich, and Diego Costa, back when he was at Atletico Madrid, before he went to Chelsea. They only conceded 3 goals in qualifying for this World Cup, which was less than any other UEFA nation. And they averaged 74% possession, which is higher than any other UEFA nation. It's not surprising, is it, when you have Iniesta and Xavi in the middle of the park and Busquets. Pedro was their top goal scorer though in qualifying. They were never blessed with strikers, were they? They'd have good strikers, Spain over the years. Torres's and Diego Costa's, Negredo's not bad. David Villa obviously brilliant. But apart from David Villa, never really had that out and out at international level top goal scorer. Off the top of my head they haven't anyway. I mean, if you think about it, they've had good strikers, really good ones. Back in the day they had Morientes, they had Raúl of Real Madrid, as I said, Fernando Torres, David Villa, who's probably their most prolific striker off the top of my head. But none of the others have ever really lived up to it. Diego Costa wasn't great for Spain. Negredo, no. Nowadays Alvaro Morata isn't brilliant. They are like the international Man City. They don't need a striker. They had Gerard Piqué in and out of the team back then, Sergio Ramos. It's saying here that David Villa and Fernando Torres' declines should be offset by the arrival of Diego Costa. That didn't really go down, though, did it? Because Costa was pretty crap for Spain. I don't know if this was the summer he goes moved to Chelsea, I'm not too sure. Over here there's an interview with a young David De Gea. He was never really convinced as the Spanish keeper either. Even when he got in even when he was at the top of his game for United, he was never really loved by the Spanish fans. I don't know what that's all about, but I always remember them getting on his case. Actually, have we already done Spain? I think we have, my bad. We've already done Holland, haven't we? Or was that the other page right there? Let's have a look. I know we did that. That's what we got up to on the last video. Okay, I've got it now. Okay, here we have the Dutch team. Let's see if we can name a couple. So we have Daley Blind, Wesley Sneijder, Robbie van Persie, or RVP. The little lad at the back, what's his name? It doesn't tell you on here who's who, but he played for... Didn't play for Everton, did he? I recognise that lad somehow. And then you got the big unit at the back there, whose name escapes me as well. The keeper, is that Jesper Cillessen? I think it might be. But yeah, I've been able to name at least 3 of them. I recognise all the other names. It's just I don't recognise their faces right now. This was during the time of Louis van Gaal Sampaoli, who is currently the manager of flipping. He's managing. I think he's managing Marseille at the minute. I'm sure he is. Okay, Vargas here and a young Arturo Vidal. Back when Vidal was like immense, and I wanted him so badly to play for United, and his career's just gone downhill so bad over the years, like really badly. He's still regular, he still plays week in, week out for Inter, but he seems to have been everywhere. They also had Gary Medel, who of Cardiff City. He was in and around the Chilean team at the time. He was a regular in a starting lineup, to be fair. And on the right side we have Australia, who were managed right there and then. Here he is, young Ange Postecoglou, the current Celtic boss. It's saying that in the 2011-12 season, when he was manager of Brisbane Roar, they went 36 games unbeaten. He was the league's most successful coach. Wow. That's pretty impressive. I like what he's done with Celtic. I mean, I don't watch the Celtic League the Scottish League week in, week out, but that's the way he's got them challenging Rangers so well. I'm really impressed. This was back when they were still picking Tim Cahill. He was 34 at the time of this World Cup, which is just bonkers that the lad was still going strong at this point. I mean, it shouldn't be that much of a surprise, should it really, but oh well. There's that Millie Jedinak, still in and around the team, former Crystal Palace midfielder, Matthew Leckie as well, and Rogic rather. Matt Ryan was the goalkeeper, who went on to be the Brighton goalkeeper, currently at Arsenal. Cahill was playing for New York Red Bulls during this World Cup. He was playing with, what's his name? He was playing with some big names back then for New York Red Bulls. I think Darren Villa was there at the time. I could be wrong. There's one or two big names in and around that New York Red Bulls team. It's gone to Group C. And in this group we have Colombia, Ivory Coast, Greece and Japan. Only one of these have won. Well, I say that, what am I about? I was going to say one of these have won a major tournament. That's not true. I was getting, for some reason I was thinking about Greece winning the World Cup. It was actually the Euros. Anyway, here we have Didier Drogba. What a beast of a player Drogba was. We start over here with Colombia, and we had Falcao, and he's saying that he might not have been fit for the World Cup. They were managed by Jose Peckerman, who's I think he was in charge of Argentina's under-20s and also the Argentinian first team as well in 2006 by the looks of it. They had some really good players back then, Colombia did, from James Rodriguez. I think that's not him there, but they had James Rodriguez breaking in. This is the one where he got like the most goals at the tournament, top goal scorer. But they also had let's have a look. Jackson Martinez, Tio Gutierrez, also had Freddie Guarin. I remember that name from, I'm sure he came to England at some point. And Juan Cuadrado, who ended up at Chelsea, and then Juve, where he's still playing now. Key player, James Rodriguez, here you go. This was before a lot of us knew him. I had no idea who James Rodriguez was. And then he was at Monaco, weren't he? Before he went on to Real Madrid. And then Everton. I think I did kind of know of him because I'm sure they signed him from Porto. I might be wrong. But yeah, I didn't know enough about him. Colombia kept 7 clean sheets in qualifying, the most of any of the CONMEBOL teams. And James Rodriguez created more chances than any other player during the qualification. That's pretty impressive. Falcao scored 9 goals in qualifying, 2 behind Luis Suarez, averaging a goal every 121 minutes. Now we've got onto the Ivory Coast. Ivory Coast, here we go. They were managed by Sabri Lamouchi, who recently, if I got this right, where was he recently in the championship? Lamouchi, was he not at Forest? I'm almost certain he was the manager of Forest recently. I'll have to check that out, guys, before I give you false information. I'm pretty certain he was the Nottingham Forest manager and got the sack this season. Apologies for the tapping. Okay, yeah, he has managed Forest quite recently. He's a Frenchman. There you go. So yeah, Sabri Lamouchi, former Ivory Coast manager. They still had the players like Kolo Touré there at the time. I'm guessing Yaya was still a part of it. Gervinho, remember when he left Arsenal and went to Rome, was just ripping up for ages. Didier Segura, I remember when Tottenham signed him and he was just awful. He really did not do anything. They had Sol Bamba there, I did not know that. Sol Bamba played for Ivory Coast, I had no idea. No, but I look at that. Drogba, Wilfred Boney, and Lassina Traore. That is a good attack to have. Wilfred Boney, remember, he was at Swansea, ripping it up. Moved to Man City for quite big money and just flopped like a big floppy thing. Oh, it was funny to see, just because it was Man City. But yeah, Yaya Touré was the key player for Ivory Coast going into this tournament. What a player Yaya was, to be fair. Here on the right we have a lost member of the Beatles. If you look at the hair and the facial hair, I'm pretty sure, I think that's Samaras, Giorgio Samaras, former Premier League player with, I want to say Fulham. I might be wrong on that one though. Fernando Santos was their manager at the time. He is currently, and has been for quite a while, the Portuguese manager, hasn't he? For the last 10 years, he's been there, something like that, 8 years. Seems to have been there a long time anyway, as a Portugal manager. Yeah, that is Giorgio Samaras, I thought that was correct, and it is. Greece were never is in and around the team still at this point. Mitroglou, here we go. Costas Mitroglou. He was the one that Fulham signed, and again, another big flop, wasn't he? A lot was expected when he signed for Fulham, and a lot didn't happen. Who did Samaras play for then, if it wasn't Fulham? Or was it Middlesbrough? Let's have a look. Samaras. Celtic. My bad, he was at Celtic, wasn't he? Did he not come to England? Let's find out. Here you go, Jojo Samaras. Here at Man City. Stupid me. He was at Man City for a couple of seasons. 8 goals in 54 games. Before going to Celtic and getting 48 in West Brom, where he got none in 5. He also had a spell at Zaragoza where he got 0 in 5. So his best spell seems to have been at Celtic. We're going to look at the Japanese, then we're going to knock it on the head until part 3. We have a young Jack Wilshere here. I bet you'd look at that picture and wish you could roll back the time. Here we go. So we have Alberto Zaccaroni, who is a name I recognise. Italian bloke. I can't remember, don't know who else he has managed. But yeah, so we had a few players back then. Then we were in the Japanese team. Kazuki Honda, right here, was a player who did brilliant for AC Milan for a while, and it's a player I really wanted at United, even if it's just for the names. For what a cool name, Kazuki Honda. I thought that was so cool. They also had Yuto Nakamoto of Inter Milan and Schalke's Atsuto Uchida. But yeah, I did not know the Japanese nickname. Well, the team's name was Samurai Blue. That's pretty cool. Makes sense. And they also had Shinji Kagawa playing on the left. Yeah, I really did like Kagawa. I was really gutted when he didn't really get a fair shake of the whip at United, in my opinion. He was given a chance and he'd get a few goals, but it didn't work out. He ended up back at Dortmund. And they also had Shinji Okazaki of Mainz. Anyone remember when Okazaki went to Leicester? He was part of the Premier League winning team, I'm sure he was coming off the bench and getting goals when Vardy needed a rest. And I think the season before that, or the couple of seasons before, he'd been their main striker, Okazaki. But he was a very useful player at the time. Right, we're going to leave it there. We'll come back with Group D in part 3, guys. Hope you're enjoying this little mini series of videos. Take it easy. I'll see you all again very soon.